and welcome to the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. Show number 116. Excuse me, show number 117. I can't believe I looked at the wrong page there. Show number 117. One and Mickey Rivers here, Jay. And we have a special guest host here. Of course, I'm coming to you live from the shitty kitchen studios in downtown Mawa. But across the glass, as not normal, we have another person. That's right. It is Dave Sturchio from downtown Matawan coming to you from the Chop Sports Media and Chop Sports Studios. I can't say they're shitty because they're not. My kitchen is. So we have Dave Sturchio here today. Dave, welcome to the Jimmy Palumbo Show.
Well, thanks for having me. Feel very grateful. I know my esteemed business partner was very disappointed when we got the text saying, like, I think I'd rather have you today. And I told him straight up. I said, look, here's the deal. There's topics that you probably won't, get involved in or whatever. And then he was like, his heart just broke right in front of me. It was very sad, actually.
Well, really, I look at it as a pinch hitting scenario. I look at it as, Chris is a punch and Judy hitter. You're down by 5 or 6 runs. You're trying to get something going. I feel right now, heading into the big beer league drop on June, we're down by a run of the 9th inning. And what is Chris Gucci going to do for me right now? He's going to maybe get a little base hit, get the rally started. We're looking at just one big swing at a big Dave Sturchio and tie this game up. That's what I'm looking for.
A little blast.
If we were in extra innings, I'd say maybe Chris will slap a base hit. We'll go to the run. We're looking for a bloop and a bomb here. That's all we need. So we brought in Dave Sturchio, and there's reasons why, which we'll get to later in the show. We all love Chris, but there's reasons why this kind of thing makes sense while Dave's on the show. But Dave's done the show a bunch of times, so it doesn't. We're just creating a non-story just to bust each other's balls. So we're here at show number 117, and as you well know, I grab a baseball card off the top. Now I got to admit, this might be my worst card. I didn't know this guy, and then I didn't realize he played for the Yankees. He played a year for the Yankees, and I will tell you this: when a guy gets signed in April and cut in August in baseball, he sucks. Not like minor leagues, like cut. In the old days, now it seems like it takes 8 months for people to get cut. Back then, it was like you're pitching on Tuesday, and Wednesday you're no longer employed for a Major League Baseball team. So my guy from 1992. And I hope I get the pronunciation right, is good old Sean Hillegas. Okay.
It's crazy. We actually have the same team, but go ahead.
Okay. Oh, no. Well, here you go. This guy with the Cleveland Indians. Now, Sean Hillegas, not my 92 card. He's a California kid. And he initially got drafted in the 26th round, okay? But he was at Middle Georgia College, so he held off for another year. And let me tell you something, kids, you scoring at home, stay in school. Why? Because he was the 4th pick in the first round for the Dodgers the following year. Now, listen, This is a classic. Like, I don't really know who this guy is, but it's a classic scenario of like a 4th of all the 7 million people play baseball. He was picked 4th. Okay. And then he actually pitched. And here's what happened. He was a very good minor leaguer. He came, his overall record was 24-38, 7 years in the big leagues. He had an ERA of 4.61. He was a righty. He literally has 62 starts, 1,800 innings, 550 innings pitched, 332 Ks, just generic. Like, I can't even tell you if that's any good. They have all these WAR and WHIP things, but anybody over 40 doesn't care about that anyway. But his year with the Yanks in 92, and this was a phase on the Yankees I wasn't following as much. I was really started getting to showbiz and everything. He was 1-8 with a 5.51 ERA, 9 starts, right?
Showing that real draft value real quick.
Yeah, just signed it. Buck Showalter was the manager. Someday we'll have Buck Showalter on the air.
You would love to.
When I'm with another network. And when I'm bigger or when I'm out of, I just call him up personally. Say, hey, Buck, how was Sean Hillegas? But his first game, here's another great thing for you kids scoring at home and any showbiz people. His first game, Sean Hillegas takes the mound for the Dodgers. He goes 8 2/3, scatters 6 hits, gives up 2 runs. I think that was the last thing he ever did. His rookie year, he was 4-3. With a 3.57 ERA. So I always think about jerk-offs like you and I being like, hey, you know what? We got this guy Sean Hillegas coming next year. I think he won 9 games after
Turn it all around.
And the best part is he didn't get hurt. It wasn't like a shoulder injury. He pitched with the Yankees with, Greg Cadaret, pitcher Farr, Danny Tartabull, Andy Stankiewicz.
Jimmy Key.
Oh no, this was the bad Yankees. This current card. If first of all, somebody's selling a signed card of him for $35, send me the $35 and I'll send you a headshot of mine. And I'll say a headshot. I'll sign it. And then I'll sign Sean Hilligas's number on the bottom of my headshot for $35. This card is currently going for 92 cents on eBay. They are just running out. The weird thing is this is another guy. I can't find anything on the internet. Usually these guys end up like being a pitching coach at like Des Moines State or something like that for 45 years.
Selling used cars.
Yeah, you know what I mean? This guy, he doesn't own he's not a realtor. This guy, he's gone. He doesn't, I assume he's not dead. He's born, he's about 59. So that's all I got. Sean Hilligas, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it. That's all I got. Now, who do you have?
I have a catcher for the Cleveland Indians. He goes by the name of Joel Skinner.
I don't know him.
All right, so Joel Skinner. The interesting part about Joel Skinner is nothing. No, but it looks like Joel was traded from the Yankees to the Indians on March 19th, 1989, and he was traded for an outfielder, your friend and mine, Mel Hall.
Oh, Mel, love Mel Hall.
That's how you
wow,
got Mel
Joel
Hall.
Skinner. He was a catcher. I can't believe that.
Yeah, 6'4", 205. He's a big guy.
He's a big fella.
Big fella. The best he's ever batted was
230,
252 in 1990.
Wow. With the Yankees?
No, with Cleveland. He batted 227 with the Yankees, like the current Yankees are batting right now. So
no, it would either be him or Gallo at first,
and
Rizzo.
Point. But it looks like he had a very long, drawn-out minor league career from 1980 to 1980. Looks like 7.
Wow.
He was a 7-year minor leaguer. Finally got called up by the Yankees A system. Moved down to Columbus. Gets up to the majors as an A, just single A. And then traded off to Cleveland for bits and pieces, I guess. But yeah, this guy is actually laying down a bunt in this card. So maybe that was his expertise.
Yeah, that's how you know when they have you bunting in your baseball card. That's brutal.
And you're a catcher nonetheless. So it's like, yeah.
Joel Skinner. Do you know what he did for the Yankees as a major? He
never got to the major league level.
Wow. Because I remembered all those shitty catchers back in all those days.
He was a shitty catcher for the Cleveland Indians in 89 and 90.
And you don't know anything about him. Is he coaching? Is he like,
No, not a clue.
That's so funny. All right, well, listen, Joel Skinner and Sean Hilligas, two. There's always something unique on this show. We finally picked two players that really nobody knows about. And if I wasn't staring at the card, I actually forgot about this guy since I just started the show already. So those are our two guys. And that's a little fun thing we do on the show here at Shea. All right, well, it's time for Patreon. Now, listen. We are in, I think instead of patreon.com, it should just be called gallo.com because we are mired. It's not even a slump anymore. You know what? It's like a Joel Skinner situation right now. We are just sitting at number 28. There's not a lot. I haven't been really posting about it. I don't really mention it on the show. Maybe I'll do after the Beer League, I'll try a post. Which, by the way, Dave Sturchio is helping us out with posting for the Beer League stuff, which we'll get to in a minute. Maybe we'll try a funny Patreon post and see if I can get. At least I get past 30, and I feel a little better about myself. 29, Catfish Hunter.
I think Chop Sports is holding a firm 7 or something like that.
It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
but take away I have a bigger family than you. That's why
that's the truth.
You only have 7.
I have not asked my family. You're on like third cousins at this point.
Listen, I went on 23andMe, and I was like, "Hey, anybody? There's some guy in Algeria that is part of my DNA by 6.7%, and I got him to sign up for Patreon.
That's great.
It's only $3 a month.
Paying you in coins.
But here they are. Of course, they are. Alex Stetsena. He's number one. The fact that Alex Stetsena, a guy from Ramsey, who I know very well, he's a piano tuner, is number one. You can't take that away. I mean, he's either the Babe Ruth, the house that Ruth built, or the Dan Ford, the house that the 1976 Yankee Stadium built because he hit the first home run. Somebody's driving off the road that I just said Dan Ford. He hit a home run on the opening day. Yankees win in the new stadium. You know what? When he dies, there'll be a little article in the New York Times that says Dan Ford passed away. He was the first one to hit a home run in the new Yankee Stadium. Now it's the middle, not new Yankee Stadium. Correct. All right, Alex Stetsena from Ramsey. My sister, Mary Eileen. Big Mike DeMosi from Colonia, New Jersey. Played softball with him for many years. My mom, my cousin Joey. Rob Pastor getting involved. Rutgers Kappa Sig back in the 80s.
We have ourselves a Joe Cinecor saying he wants the 29th spot.
Well, listen, hey, Joe, I know you're listening, but I tell you what, Joe, here's how it works, Joe. It's not like I stand outside my door and give little tickets away. What you got to do is you got to go to patreon.com, patreon.com, search the Jimmy Palumbo Show and whip out that credit card and make sure you have enough credit line because it's like the bottom tier is $3 a month, but there are other tiers if you want to get involved.
Oh, yeah.
So Joe Cinecor, good buddy of mine from Ramsey as well. He's also a fan of the show. Tuning in on LinkedIn. Everybody's like Facebook and LinkedIn is tied at anyone. Like LinkedIn's like the Miami Heat. They're only down by 5 with 3 minutes to go every game.
Stuck in there as the 8th seed for some odd reason, right? Eliminate the Knicks.
I got James Cano. It's my website guy. And he bought us. This is what I love about Chop Sports. The organization is so top notch. He ordered a 706 shirt. It got delivered to him. And I found out about it when he sent me a picture of the shirt with 706. Now, listen, we have an exclusive deal. The deal I have with my merchandise is one of the more complicated deals. It's a combination of Adidas, Nike. Matter of fact, when I was watching the movie Air, with Michael Jordan, I was like, this reminds me of kind of my deal with Chop Sports. Every 11 months, someone orders a shirt for $20. And I think I was supposed to get $8 of that. But the reason why the computer system is so great, I don't find out of it through Chop Sports for anybody there. I find out by a photo through social media that someone ordered a new shirt.
It's a conversation that me and Chris have. You're like, oh, Jimmy sold a shirt. Should we tell him? Nah.
Forget it. That's it.
Nah.
Let's go to Starbucks and blow his $8 out there. So a big shout out.
Now Venti Day here at Shea.
When Dave and I first started out doing this crazy world of podcasting, it was all about merchandise. Now when I hear a new guy talk about podcasting, he's like, I want to sell some merchandise. Me and Dave look at him like, okay, all right.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Go order 1,000 shirts and see how many you have left. You'll be using them as rags to wash your car out the driveway. Anyway, so James Canowitz, website guy, still can't get a call back from him. My nephew, Jimmy Riccardi, who got me on Frank the Tank, which we'll talk about. Also, John Henry Riccardi, Eric Riccardi. That's my trio of nephews right there.
The Riccardi three.
Michael Caprio from cornholelevel.com. My brother Frank, CFO, Darryl Clark down there, LSU, but I think he's moving. All he does is bust. Hey, listen, Darryl, all you do is bust my balls. I send you shit every month. I owe him a baseball card. I have my own baseball cards now, so I got to get them sent to him. Dude, I got something coming for you. Don't worry. I love you, man. Greg Castellino Miller from Colonia. Mike Shecky Lawler, big Dolphin fan. Dave Ben, went to school 16 years with him. And you're a friend of mine. In the battle, there's going to be a big like Marvel Studios thing. Chop Sports versus Pat Volkamer. It's a new movie coming out. Right. And it's going to have Dave's going to be like a Superman guy with a big D on his shirt. And Pat Volkamer is going to have a big V. And they're going to have like a World Wrestling Championship at the Texas Stadium. They go at it. Pat Volkamer, Chop Sports, finest poster at only between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. He's the night shift. He's like
the night shift.
It's like eggs.
I wake up, I'm like having my morning coffee, and it's just like baseball trivia. I'm just like, what? It's like, what's happening right now? It's 3 o'clock on the West Coast. What are you doing?
And the questions are always like, what major league team played on a Tuesday and won 9 games in a row in 1974 to 1985, where players did not have, it's like this crazy thing. Anyway, I love him. Pat Volkamer, talked to him last night. And a shout out to my boy, Eddie Driscoll, a little under the weather. He's got some issues. Hope you feel better, buddy. Martin Walsack getting involved here. Big Giant fan from Colonia. Michael Deege, Alphonse from the movie Beerleague and Beerleague the Series. Janine Michaud, we all know her. Of course, Janine is sending me new glasses because I left them in the rental car last time I went to go to L.A. She's sending me a new pair. I don't know if they're Casa del Mar. I don't know what they are. It'll be fun. I hope they're one of the sponsors. I do. When I read her ad.
Do you want to hear something real quick? I don't want to cut you off, but I saw a Sunglass Hut commercial last night.
Yes.
And they're going over the list of sunglasses and
glasses. As Bob Shepard?
No. But that's what I'm saying. Like they were doing that. They were like, we have Ray-Ban, blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, Jimmy would fucking slaughter this. I was like, why don't we
be doing it?
Call up Sunglass Hut.
And listen, though, you know what kind of guy I am? I would say no to that sponsor. You know, they may have 7,000 shops across the United States, but you know what?
But there's one.
There's only one Absolute Eyewear down by the train station. We'll get to that ad. I can do it to Craig, her brother. I would totally blow him off, but I can't do it to Jaybird. Craig never calls me anyway. Then we got Robin Achani Barna, another friend of mine from high school. My cousin John Henry Palumbo from Colonia High. Greg Alperin, producer of Beerleague the Series, coming out on June 19th, which is this Monday. And then we got my nephew, Bobby Palumbo, my nephew, Tommy Palumbo, just graduated out of Vatech. Then we got Tyson Hogan, my favorite Patreon, because nobody knows who he is, but he posts on stuff. He's a big fan of Beerleague. So, you know, listen, I love his work.
Those are the better ones.
Then I got Louis Vicciadomini and my roommate and one of my best friends from high school, Brian Shevlin, coming in at 28. Now, rumor has it that Joe Sinecor from St. Paul's Church over here is going to sign up. Listen, Joe, until I get that little text comes right over and says you have another Patreon. You know, I don't want to set you back. I know you got mortgages and kids and everything.
And not for nothing, there's a guy that says LinkedIn user. I can't really see who it is, but it says I can be number 30. So
I don't know who it is.
There's a chance you pick up 2 today, Jimmy.
I can pick up. That would be you. You know what? And Dave Sturchio is just getting involved.
I am literally making it rain, boy.
Are you going to be like, who's that guy in the Yankees years ago hit like 10 home runs and 15 at bats, and then someone realized he couldn't hit the curveball? He was out of baseball by July.
I don't know. My dad actually texted me yesterday. He's like, "Hey, Mets just signed Luke Voit." I'm like, "Son of a bitch, I love Luke Voit."
And look at Kyle getting involved over here.
Where's the link? I'll support. He said, "Hey, Kyle, it's patreon.com. Look up the Jimmy Palumbo Show."
If maybe next week I'll have Dave figure out how to help me with the links. I just tell people go to Patreon.
You know what I also just did, Jimmy? I know this is like foreign to your former or your other hosts of this show. I actually just did a little something called sharing the episode right now. So people are tuning in because I shared the episode, letting people know that you're live. Listen, so that's why guys like Kyle are probably watching right now.
Well, listen, the difference, I feel bad now because, you know,
He's being wally pipped. He's being wally pipped right now.
The unique thing about having Chris on the show, and I actually have to call the CIA right now because the Witness Protection Program called me and said, "Hey, Jimmy, we want to have your show as part of our Witness Protection Program. Do you mind if people go on your show as co-hosts? Because we know no one will ever find, nothing gets shared. They're not on social media." I'm the only podcast person in the world who has a co-host, a foil, a guy behind the glass who refuses to acknowledge that he's on the Jimmy Palumbo show. Yeah, and it's not like my downloads are. I'm still slapping base hits in this game.
You're still in
and
the
he
game.
Just doesn't. I think maybe he doesn't like me. I don't know. You know, it's funny. His parents watch the show. I get random texts from everybody. But Chris doesn't. I don't know. You know, is he worse at posting than I am? I mean, this is.
Listen, that's always been, and that's the truth. Like that's always been a bugaboo of this company in particular. He's not Mr. Hey, everybody, look what I got going on. He's not. He's never been that way.
You're the guy who says privately you have nothing going on, but the world thinks you have everything going on. And I wish I was more that way. That's the way you have to be,
Jimmy.
I suck at that. But
he's watching right now from Breakbuds TV.
It's great. Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, you know what happened? He's selling baseball cards online.
Like the video, Chris.
Chris Gucci, he'll be back soon enough. As soon as he, you know what? You never know. And he's looking at him. All I hear is crying. Okay. Well, listen, usually you're crying at the doctor's office. You're like Giancarlo Stanton of the show. But I have Dave Sturchio here, and there's reasons why I have him here, which we got to get to. But I think I'm going to make a comeback. It looks like Mike Caprio may drop out, so I have to add another two. He's been threatening to quit my softball team since 1993, I think. I've seen him quit during a game, and I said, "No, you can't. We only have 9. You can't leave before the game."
By rule, you can't do it.
Which brings us to your friends and mine, Absolute Eyewear getting involved. 732-326.
Eyes.
Oh, the delay. That was a class. You know what? No, it's sad. Now, Chris, listen. If Chris, you're listening, that was Dave being very late coming over on a blocking the guard there. I tried
to swing and then
it was a back door and there was no back door.
And you throw it into the third row.
732-326-3937. Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, down by the train station. They're opticians. They're the best. Janine and Craig Michaud, brother and sister. They got everything. Glasses. They're sending me a new pair as we speak. I don't even know what it is yet. And of course, they have Ray-Ban Coach Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturchio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and Charles Oakley likes to show up at the store. Which, wait a minute. Wait, first of all, rattling news in the middle of Absolute Eyewear. Ed McDermott from Ramsey just showed up. We are now at 29 without Joe Synagor. You know what? Joe Synagor thought he was going to get the call up. He was in the minor leagues batting like 345, and all of a sudden, boom, another guy takes spot number. He takes the Catfish Hunter, 29. I appreciate that.
You guys are in a giving mood. We also have a Patreon. If you want, just like, hey, can I get your 30 to come on over to Chop real quick?
Look at this. Unbelievable. Well, no, actually, first of all, we now are at 30 officially. Ed McDermott from Ramsey and Joe Synagor from Ramsey just went on to Patreon, and Joe did very well. I love that, Joe. Appreciate it. So we are at 30, but it's unofficial until next week when I read off all the names. But it looks like the fans are clamoring. They smell it. There's no doubt LeBron's coming to the Knicks as an aging LeBron James with his son Bronny, who's not as good as Dylan Harper, who'll go to Rutgers. Anyway, so Absolute Eyewear, $100 off. You mentioned just mention Chops Boards, Jimmy Blumwood. Just you know Chris. If you know Chris, you probably get charged extra. That's what'll happen there. But you just say you like podcasts, and they'll give you some money off. But just go talk to Jaybird, and she'll take care of you. Open 5 days a week. They're closed Wednesdays. Why, Dave?
Softball.
And they're closed Sundays. Why?
To watch the Giants lose.
There you go. Watch the Giants lose. You see that? That's it. But except when it comes to Giants have to play the Cowboys at 10 p.m. every night, which I can't stand.
Terrible.
I want to know, all you Giant fans out there, I would love to do a poll on Monday morning. I don't care. If the Cowboys were 8-0 and the Giants were 8-0, how many fans actually do fall asleep and have it taped and wake up at 4 a.m. to piss and go, let me find out what happened here. I've sometimes have dozed during Giant games. Thank God for the DVR here. I hate Sunday night games. Nobody likes them except for the network money, but they pay the bills, so that's the way it goes. Truth. Anyway, I like those 1:00 starts. Anyway, that's it. Absolute Eyewear. Getting involved. Go check them out. They're great. They'll take care of you. I promise. All right. Now, I had a crazy weekend. I actually did a heckle hole. You know what that is? Mr.
Yeah,
Sturchio?
I think you called me while you were there.
I'd call, and we almost me and you were going to do it. I'm going to get you, because a 2-man thing would be even funnier. All I do is sit by a microphone. There's a bunch of video guys there as well, and you sit there and all you do is bust balls on every foursome that comes up.
Really?
And it's on a speaker. It's loud. You can't curse really, because it was for Don Bosco High School over here. And all I kept on saying is anybody can like pay Dylan Harper to go to Rutgers basketball. Which, by the way, if that happens, Rutgers is getting the number 1 and 2 player in the country. Do you understand that? That means, like, Kentucky and Duke, they usually get the 1 and 2 guys. They're coming to Rutgers. I think they'll be there for 45 minutes. If they're just going to, get out of the car, say we're here.
Entered the transfer portal.
And then Kentucky's offering $6 million to come play point guard. You're out of here. But anyway, so it's for Don Bosco, and all I do is bust ball, a bunch of nice guys. The funny thing is, it's just the golf material. Golf is nobody's good in golf. And the guy who is good, I always pick him out right away. He has the nice clothes on. He's usually skinny. He's kind of cocky, but in his own way. And I always ask, who's the best player? And 3 guys point to one guy real easy. And that's the guy I go after. And you know what? Every time there was a really good golfer, except for one guy, he didn't hit a shot like he wanted to. It was a 3-par. About 175 yards away, whatever the hell it was, with tremendous winds yesterday. But there was one guy I was getting tired at the end of the day. He went up to the tee, and I knew this guy was a good golfer. Like everything, he looked clean and neat. He looked showered. He was a golfer for 2 hours already. And I was busting his balls heavy. And dude, I think he was 2 feet from the hole. It was like high in the air. And you know what he did? He just stared back at me. I was like, you got me, bro. Getting involved here from the heckle hole. But the funny thing is, who was there? Because I don't know if his kids went to Don Bosco, but Roy White wrote a new book, you Yankee fans out there. And I was a big Roy White fan, loved him, solid. He was one of those guys, not a Hall of Famer, just a solid baseball player for 15 years. If you look at his stats, he hit. He played the field. He was just a solid baseball player for 15 years. And a Yankee played during the shitty Yankee years, and they got good at the very end of his career. But he wrote this book, and it went in there. And I went up to him and I said, I said, hey, Mr. White, so pleasure to meet you. And I whipped out my credit card. And I said, listen, I have a story for you that I don't think you've ever heard. And he goes, oh, what do you mean? I go, well, when I first started doing comedy with Artie Lang, we were doing improv. And what you do is you get two people on stage. One person has to leave the room. So Artie left the room. And the category was food. And the word I got was knish. Okay. So you have to on stage act out knish without saying the word knish. Okay. Which I never had a knish at that point. I didn't know what a knish was.
It's a Jewish delicacy, I think.
Whatever. I never really had one. I don't know what a knish is. But I did know one thing. So we get up. Artie comes on stage, and I have a shit-eating grin on. I said, I'm going to totally see how funny Artie thinks. I'm going to try something. So what I do is I started to go into Roy White's batting stance on the stage at a sold out, like 11 people were there at New York Comedy Club on 6:30 in the middle of the summer. It was still light out. It was a bad event, right? I start doing the pigeon-toed Roy White, and Artie looks at me with disgust, and he goes, knish. So it's just like, what? The reason why is because when you went to Yankee Stadium as a kid, there used to be a guy with a big bin selling knishes, like, beer and the knishes, whatever. And on the side of the bin, it said, Roy White likes knishes.
Shit.
I think worldwide, 11 people know this. Okay. So as soon as I went into Roy White, he knew his food. He just said knish without batting an eye. We get off the stage, and Artie is so angry at me. He was like, Jimmy, there's only 3 people in the world. You, my cousin, and your cousin know that. And you put me on stage, and thank God I knew it. So now the funny thing is I'm telling a story to Roy White. He's giving me that blank celebrity stare. Like, what is? He goes, yeah, that's, I never heard that one before. And then he goes, well, at least someone's imitating my batting stance on the stages in New York. I'm like, yeah, it was 30 years ago. So God bless. So I ended up buying the book, cost me $40. And he signed it generically to Jimmy from Roy White.
Jimmy, good luck.
Have no comment about the New York Comedy Club at Artie Lang. So yeah, we hung out. We did that. That was a lot of fun. But here's the best thing. My jerk off producer, Doug, who I love, says to me, yeah, it's over at the Montclair golf course. Okay. So what do? I just go into Waze. I type in Montclair golf course. And I go on my merry way, 45 minutes away. No big deal. I pull in, and it's this huge, gorgeous golf club, tennis courts. Women were playing. They were all dressed in white. I was like, wow, this is cool. And I pull up, and they have these bags that just said Yogi on it. And I was like, oh, it must be some kind of handbag brand or something. So I pull up. They go, can we help you? I said, yeah, I'm part of the heckle hole. Blank stare. Okay. It was like it was a Roy White's daughter looking at me. And I said, I go, yeah, I'm looking at the heckle hole. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, this is the Yogi Berra Museum Memorial Tournament. And I'm like, she goes, there's an Upper Montclair golf course. And I'm like, who has 2 golf courses in town with the same name? Horrific naming there. And then I'm like, you know what? Can I go to this one? I don't feel like going to the other one now. I want to go to Yogi's, but there's probably Yankees all over the place that are retired. So I drove down. I was late because it was. I never saw it when you drive across town in Montclair and it's a half-hour drive. Like, what are we in? Like Wisconsin now? I don't understand it. So anyway, I ended up getting there, busting balls. All the Don Bosco people there. We raised a lot of money for the kids, and we raised a lot of money for the rich kids, the rich people that go to Don Bosco. And that's it. That was my heck of a hole. So I hope to do it again. Now, NBA Finals. Briefly, look, Jokic, best player in the league, 2-time MVP.
Should have been MVP this year too.
Yeah, just great player. I loved listen. I thought the Heat, man. Listen, Dave, you're a Knicks fan, so we're just a bunch of depressed, bitter Knicks fans. Can you imagine if the Knicks had lost in the finals like that? We would have been out of our minds. Every score, a couple games, but like. With like 8 minutes to go, the game was still, each one was a shot to win. They played. It was like, I know it was that Denver was just so much better, but man, the Heat just kept on. They just didn't die. I love that in a team, well coached. Who knows? Maybe the Heat will suck next year. I don't know what free agency or anything like that, but it was just really nice to watch a team that was not as good go toe to toe with the champ or eventual champ. And I love at the end of the game, Jokic went up to each player hugging. I know there was stuff on social media, but I noticed it live yesterday. And then he was like, in his interview, he wasn't like, he just was like, I feel like saying, LeBron, man, just watch that. He was humble. He
LeBron's
was
a
nice.
whole nother
He was
beast.
nice, and he's the best player in basketball now. Because he can shoot, he can dribble, he brings the ball up.
His passing is just incredible. I'm
Yeah,
watching this guy. It's like it's incredible.
Like if he has a camp over the winter, I think Randall should go to his camp. Like, hi, I'm also in the league, but I don't know how to do it like you do.
Yeah,
I just go barreling in, get an offensive foul. Like I get 5
dribble
fouls
off my foot. Yeah,
yeah. Oh my god! And he's so big, and it looks like when he's dribbling up, you're like, oh no, get it to the point guard. It's the wrong guy. Then you realize, oh wait a minute, that's Jokic, and he's better than the point guard. Like how does he not get the ball stolen? It's unbelievable.
Some of his like high arc shots are stuff that like my dad would do to me, where it's like either not a sky hook per se, but like the arc of the shot. He's got his arms like fully extended and then just like throw. I'm like, there's no way you could block that. He's already 7'4". It's like he's got a 10-foot wingspan. Like the guy is it's
great. And another thing, I guess part of the Jimmy Palumbo show is I don't know stats and numbers and all that. So I go by sitting on the couch. Who's great? Who stinks? Everybody
passes the eye test for you.
Yeah, the eye test for me. Get off my lawn. There's no question about it. You know what? Doesn't it seem like he plays 75 minutes a game? He's never out of the game.
Yeah.
You go take a piss, you grab a beer, you come down, he's in the game. You doze off for 20 minutes. In other words, I feel like when Randall or any of the good Knicks are really good, they're really hot. Oh, he's out of the game with 2 fouls. You're like, why is he out of the game? He's got 2 fouls. And there's Jokic running up and down. Then he's hugging his kids at the end. I was like, oh my, like it's rare that I'll start hating him in 2 years if they win it 2 more years in a row. I'll have a problem with Jokic.
I was talking to Chris, and if Murray doesn't get hurt a couple of years ago, this could have been like a dynasty. They have a complete team, and they're very, very good and sound.
Very good.
But like the best part about his game, I think, is his pace. Like he's not sprinting up and down the court. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's just getting in the right spot, right time, get the ball in his hands. He does his thing. Like he's very old school in that regard where he can post up, fade away, fucking layups. It's just like it's just effortless.
And
and it's fun to watch.
He plays in Denver. We don't see the games. I should say you guys do at Chop Sports. You got to cover sports, but jerk offs like me, we don't. I feel like he's been in the league only a year and a half. He played in Europe for years. Like I love him. You just said something so funny. He looks like he's lumbering down the court, but you ever notice though the other player never beats him down though. It's like he's like just lumping around. All of a sudden there's like a fast break and he's right on it. Like what? Like when the Knicks break up when Randall does that, he's spinning, he's falling down, he's trying to catch the guy. And Joke, I'm telling you, I know it. Listen, everybody knows how good he is now, but he really is a pleasure to watch. He looks like a big baby Huey, and he just dominates NBA, and he's great. And it's so nice to have a different player finally, the Currys and LeBrons and the Durants, and it's great. I hope he doesn't get hurt or something like that. It'd be really nice to see him go. Another thing, it looks like he's not going to get hurt either. He's not moving.
He's like another breed of basketball player. He's like almost like a Luka too from Dallas. Like he doesn't look like he's an athlete, but all of a sudden he's on the court and he's really like captivating to watch. But yeah, he's the best player in basketball, I think, by far. Should have won another MVP, and now he's like one of the all-time greats officially with the title. Yeah. So
once you get the title, you jump right in. Yeah. Anyway, so that's enough about basketball. I didn't really. I watched a few of the games, but I didn't watch. I actually watched more NBA this year than I thought I would.
So have I, actually. I'm usually just like a Knicks all the time, but like I watched a lot of NBA because of Mojo and everything that we were doing. I was trying to get involved with like more of the players, and I got to know a lot of the.
But you know what happens? You realize, you know what happens to me? I realize I'm a Knicks fan, and I just want to go watch Netflix. I get so disgusted.
Yeah.
The Yankees. I'll be brief here. Listen, I think the Yankees stink, man. I watch the games. I know they're hurt. Okay, but first of all, this is starting to remind me of the Sean Hilligas Yankees right now because. You don't know the players. There's Rich McKinney. There's like all these guys,
Billy McKinney.
These guys, and Calhoun, and like it's like they all. It sounds like a law firm in an Irish section of the town. You don't know what's going on over there. Come to the offices of McKinney and Calhoun if you have a DWI. It's awful. And then you got there's guys running all over. And listen, Volpe again,
not playing very well.
Not playing very well. I've had this. This has been the reason. Listen, me and Dave, we want to play in Major League Baseball like today, right?
Yeah. Right.
The reason why we can't, the reason why me and you are not in the major leagues because we can't hit.
Right.
Okay. So we can't hit. So what I say is, guys like Gallo and Volpe, they can't hit. So why are they? They're batting 188. Like why can't it be the manager should go on those stupid manager shows and be like, yeah, I'm sitting him because I went to Baseball Reference and I looked up Sean Hilligas, and then I realized that I looked up Volpe and Rizzo and not Rizzo for now. I looked up Gallo, and these guys they're batting 188. So, fans come to the ballpark. These guys don't hit. And they don't.
I mean, you do realize they got rid of Gallo, right?
But still, it's the same. Gallo's still with his stench lingered on I think he shook hands with Volpe in the minor league during the preseason.
Right.
I like Volpe. He's young. He looks like, oh, look at me. I'm going to be the next Jeter.
Listen, you got to give him some time. You got to give him some time.
Well, then he should be in the minors then.
Well,
He's not ready.
I read a report today that Boone said that sending him back down would be detrimental to his growth, because I mean, like, all the hype that surrounds him, you got to let him figure it out on his own at this point. What are you going to do?
Okay,
you're going to send him down to fucking Trenton or Somerset and just try to work it out? Like, what are we doing here?
How low do we go though? I mean, here comes Volpe with a 162 average. Hits the chopper.
But here's the thing: they've been dealing with this kind of shit for a couple of years now. Like, if it's not Aaron Judge and Judge is hurt, you got to pick up the slack around the lineup, and it's just not happening right now. And now, do they have a get right series ahead with the Mets coming up? Like, they gotta beat the Mets.
Met fans are licking their chops. They stink too.
The Mets absolutely, for morale of their fan base and morale of that area of New York. You know what this is? These games.
This is like one of those bad boxing matches in the 80s, like Bone Crusher Smith against Mustafa Hamsho on instead of Friday night boxing, it's like Thursday night at 6:30 on ESPN 8.
Dinner time.
Both teams stink. Please, Rizzo hasn't gotten. By the way, Rizzo's batting 269, so him batting 225 and under is very much in play. LeMahieu, first of all, he can't see, he can't hit, he strikes out. What happened? He hurt his toe, and I'm worried about Judge now. These toe injuries, like when you're 6'9" and you have a bad toe, you that's how you limp and you start playing golf. I'm worried about Judge not coming back. The whole thing stinks. Anyway, the Mets stink. Lindor's the most overpriced player in the league, $34 million. He stinks. There's so much stench in New York right now. Really, it's
not a good time.
And I'm relying on like Rutgers and the Giants for my happiness. That's a dangerous, slippery slope. Giants could easily go 6-11.
And then you got 2 months of dwelling. Then
nothing,
3 months of dwelling.
Nothing. And every time I go on ESPN.com. The Rays are up 4-1. You ever notice that? Third inning, 4-1, and then the final score 4-3. They never lose.
The Yankees are like 10 games over 500 right now, and they're 9 games behind first place of the Rays.
And by the way, and it's like we're starting to go to the beach now, going in pools. It's not early.
No,
it's mid-June. Like the stench of you stink. That's what I don't see maybe I guess the wild card. Then you got to play those stupid series. I just don't see it.
We'll see.
Maybe if it gets a little chilly in the Bronx, there's a little bit of that flair, but I don't think that magic's gone too. It's all bullshit. Anyway, which brings me to another bullshit thing, but a lot of fun. Mike Caprio, who almost dropped me as a Patreon, but he swung back in. He held serve. And of course, Mike Caprio, my second baseman for Corona Softball in downtown Woodbridge, he owns cornholelevel.com. Now, Dave, listen to me. You've been to barbecues.
It's cornhole season right now.
And when you go to, have you ever been like to your next door neighbor who maybe is a little nerdy? There's no chicks there. Even, he's not married. He has a barbecue. The beer is warm. And then you look at the lame cornhole boards in the backyard and they're not leveled right. So, you say to him, say, listen, I'm going to help you out. I'm not going to bring beer here because no one's coming here. This is a lame party, but I'm going to help you out. You go to your car, Dave, and you get a cornhole leveler and you hook it on the board there and you get it going. It's just a gorgeous piece of equipment. You hook it on, Dave. That's what you do, Dave. And you tell this guy, and then you finish your warm Rheingold with this guy and you leave. Okay. That's how it works. It's the greatest gift ever. It's $19.95.
Oh, whoa. I would not buy it at $19.95. Please tell me, Jimmy, how can I buy it for cheaper price?
Look at Dave Sturchio for 3. He's got it. A rare 3 from Sturchio. That's because he knows if you type in JP Show, you get 20% off at $19.95. And probably, I think if you put in Chop Sports, you still get the 20%. I don't think he went into the cart and changed that. I think if you just put your own mother's name in there, you get the discount. and it's 1995. I got Vinny Callahan chiming in. Bring the leveler on Friday, Vincent. I'll be wearing your shorts, which you gave me 3 years ago, which I haven't returned yet, and I will wear. Listen, his golf course has these crazy rules. You can't have cargo pants on. You got to have collars. You got to present your college degree to the guy in front. Let him know what your GPA is. You know what I mean? For years, Rutgers grads weren't allowed in there, but now they are. I will bring the leveler. I have a little Kappa Sig Schwindig on Friday. And a little heckle hole action going on over there. And we're going to have some fun there. So I will bring a cornhole level, but go to cornholelevel.com. Great for the kids. Great fun for the backyard. It's a perfect look at him, dude. Shorts still fit. Yes, they do. Good one. I'll tell you what, LinkedIn's like the joke it's for me right now.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so cornholelevel.com. Check these things out. Perfect stocking stuffer, gag gift. And you don't embarrass yourself by having a shitty cornhole board. Currently, I'm ranked 119th in the world at cornhole. I've played twice in my life. I'm only ranked 119th. I don't know what you're ranked, Dave. You're probably ranked like 100 or 105 maybe in the world.
I'm slumping lately.
Right, but if you play like this summer, by Labor Day, you'll be ranked 8th probably.
Yeah,
I'll probably right around 29th, I'll die. I don't think I'll make the top 25, but I'm right there. I have a total of 1 hour experience playing cornhole.
Just trying to get in the tournament,
Yeah, and people that say that professional cornhole, like,
have you ever watched those guys?
I know. No, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Listen, I was ranked 4th in lawn darts with the metal edges right there till a vicious injury on a lawn dart that went wide. No, I just can't. I can't handle professional lawn. I mean, cornhole. I just can't. But these cornhole level things are also going to have teams on it. Penn State, Rutgers, Giants, Stout, which I think I know that'll be in one Cowboy fan stocking stuffer. I'll call the missus and say, "Hey, Mrs. Sturchio, I got the perfect shitty gift if you're angry at your husband right now." Hey, Dallas Cowboy cornhole.
Some bad people get coal, others get cornhole levels.
That's it.
In their stocking.
Go to cornholelevel.com. Check it out. They're a fine sponsor. All right, we got to get down to some business here. We're chatting. We're busting balls. I get the feeling this is not going to be a short show. We'll see. I'll try.
Meetings.
Yeah, we'll see how long. You might be late for your next meeting. We'll see what we do. Anyway, listen, we have a huge event. Huge. Probably the biggest event in Jimmy Palumbo Show history occurring June 19th. Beerleague the Series is officially being dropped and launched. Now, Dave's been helping us out with social media. If you've been following my social media, it is tons of posts, tons of funny stuff going on. You have to go to YouTube, search Beerleague the Series, go check it out. It's also going to be on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Shitter and Snapchat and all this different stuff. I just want to mention everybody that's involved. Now, there's links all over, and Dave's going to help me out with that in a second, explain it a little better. But I want to say that it stars me as Johnny Trino getting involved. Maddie Corman is Marilyn, my wife from the movie. Michael Deege is Alphonse, the Italiano Mitt guy. Manganelli, the nemesis, is back in action in Beerleague the Series. I got Joe Latrulio as Dave the Drunk there, the little short guy. I got Jerry Minor as Tim, who you well know. I got Elizabeth Regan as Gina, which is Maz's, a.k.a. Ralph Macchio's wife. She's in it. We got Mary Birdsong as Rhonda getting involved from the Lyndhurst Diner. She has one of the funniest scenes in the movie. I think when I posted that scene, it got like 4 million views on Instagram. It was wild. We also have Tony Minuto getting involved from Live on Tape and the original Game Day. So some of you aficionados, Game Day was the short directed by Mike Ruane that led to Beerleague, and we got the original bartender in there as well. We always have Alex Corrado, the bartender in Beerleague, the movie. He's involved. We got Mark Riccadonna, a really funny comedian playing the drunk guy. And I can't explain the scene. I'll give it away, but it's a funny scene with him. And also rounding out the cast is Tom Bolster, Mousy from the original Game Day. So again, you aficionados, you guys who know the movie and the story, it's on there. Now, the age-old question has been going on for months now, and Dave's been dealing with it. Artie Lang. Now listen, Artie Lang is a personal friend of mine. Yes, we did the movie, but we were friends well before Howard Stern, well before Mad TV. We were both in the same sketch comedy group. He's from Union. I'm from Colonia. We drove in together. I'm friends with the family. I am friends with Artie Lang. Artie Lang knows about this. He supports it. He's not quite ready yet to really get back. He's putting himself together a little bit. And we're all praying for him and hoping that he's back on the stage soon enough. I got a really good feeling that that's going to happen soon. I don't know what soon means, but you have not heard the last of Artie Lang. So, and the minute Artie just wants, I mean, all he's got to do is say, Jimmy, come to my house. We'll film something in my kitchen. And I will have I'll have Dave Sturchio there with a phone. We'll be shooting Beerleague the Series stuff. We have ideas from episodes beyond episode 5. So Artie will be involved. I assure you. And unless he chooses not to, which he could, but then I'll just call him a jerk off and make him do it. Or I'll just bring my camera and do like secret videos in his kitchen and stuff. I'll get him in. Ralph Macchio, he said no, but he didn't say no, like, I'm not doing this. He said like, Jimmy, I got some stuff going on, Cobra Kai, blah, blah, blah. And I know Ralph, good man. I know he loves me. I don't bother him too much. Once in a while, I bother him. I think Ralph will do a cameo again. I'll meet him in the driveway. But I'll meet him in the driveway. That's my new thing. The show's going to be called Jimmy Meets Stars in the Driveway and uses them for Beerleague the Series. If you're a fan of the movie, I think you'll enjoy it. I know Dave has seen them all. And if you're a fan of the movie, it's a little nice road down memory lane. And I think there's room for growth with these guys, what they're doing. They're fat and older 20 years later. Now, Dave, help me out with my audience. Explain a little bit more where to go see this, how to go see it, what we're doing, the social media angle, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, the social media is pretty simple. It's everything that I've posted within the last couple of days is across all platforms. So if you want to head on over to YouTube, that's where they need the biggest support over there. So YouTube, it's at Beerleague the Series. So they have an @ so you can find them really easily. Subscribe there. There's a couple shorts over there, but that's where they're going to be releasing primarily all the episodes. And then, of course, all the social media with the Instagram, and there's an Instagram Beerleague the Series as well. But that's
there's
the way
a
to
website.
find it.
There's even a website.
Beerleaguetheseries.com. You can go check that out as well. A lot of stuff going on, and it's the final push right now. But and not to put too much pressure on you, Jimmy, but even when it releases, there's going to be so much to still do. You know what I mean? To promote this thing. It's not like if it's like Monday's the first episode and it bombs or whatever, you're like, fuck, now what? You know what I mean? Like,
no, I know. You got to give it time to cultivate. I mean, listen, and plus I'm playing softball again. So Johnny Trino started to swing the bat. I was 2 for 3 in my opening day, which took me a couple of years ago. I was 0 for 14 to start the season.
That was rough. I was
like an aging Gallo, right?
We were like, I think we were 8-0 with you on the lineup, but you weren't hitting at all.
You know what it is? I'm a clubhouse guy.
You're a clubhouse guy.
I was, you know what?
You were Brett Gardner.
As a matter of fact, I missed the first game you guys lost. I wasn't there. I was on the bench. You guys came. You fell behind 6-0. A little unglued. A little fisticuffs on the bench. Yeah. Little Reggie versus Billy Martin there, and you didn't have me. I wasn't like Elston Howard, bench guy.
So we're repurposing a lot of the original Beerleague stuff to kind of tease you and get you ready for this one. So if you haven't seen the original movie, shame on you, because I am one of the 4 or 5 of us out there that are actually like a cult following of this movie. Your boy Fat Frank called it criminally underrated, right, or something like that.
Yeah, criminally underrated, which we're going to get to him in a second. But listen, the only reason, well, not the only reason, one of the reasons why I'm with Chop Sports Media is because when I decided to do a podcast, I got a message when Dave literally jumped out of his shoes like, Johnny Trino wants to do a podcast. I'm starting a podcast thing. I have to have Johnny Trino.
And I'm 117 episodes in, and I'm here to tell you kids at home, don't meet your heroes.
Don't meet your heroes. Turns out 706 is more like 106 here in Shay.
Yeah.
So I appreciate Dave helping out as well. So he's very good at what he does. Besides Chop Sports, having you could do a photo shoot, podcast, whatever the hell you want to do, just give him a call, get in touch with him, Chop Sports Media. There's a lot of people out there that think they want to do a podcast. So one of the things that Dave's good at, even if you're a rookie, you've never done anything in your life, and you want to do a podcast because you know about, I don't know, a bird seed or something, go down to Chop Sports and they'll do a fine podcast for you, get you started, get you going, and stuff like that. Also, I will mention, Dave, your new show, which I think I modeled my show after the Bill Burr show. And I was saying to you for years, because you've had like 8 different podcasts, and they were all very good. But they're always weird names. Like, that I'm like, Dave, your name is Dave Sturchio. Why don't you do a show called the Dave Sturchio Show?
I always just felt like I wasn't important enough to have a self-entitled podcast.
I think, listen.
So now it's just like I'm so far deep into this thing. I've been doing this shit for forever.
Now you know what
you're
doing.
Now it's just like, you know what? if you don't know me by now, maybe you will get to know me. So if you want to go check out that show, that'd be great.
It's a great show. You have a great voice. Go for it. Like I said, I try to give you. I just think you should just talk about. I know you're a sports talk. I'm sick of this crap. People say, "Oh, Jimmy, you talk too much about sports." Well, I'm a sports guy. I like sports. I like movies. I like comedy. I like busting balls. I like being, all that stuff. And that's what I'm going to talk about. We like to have laughs. That's what it is. Getting involved from the Omni in Atlanta. It's only funny to me, but I keep on saying I've heard people have actually said to me, "Oh, Jimmy, the Omni." They don't even know what it means. So when you're doing your show, talk about stuff that happens to you and you think is funny. It's going to be not funny, interesting. Really, not to be a comedy thing. So now that was the main reason why we switched. I had to pull Gucci off the bench, out of the game because he was 0 for 4 anyway, because we were down by 1. I want to get Sturchio in there for a little bloop and a bomb and tie this thing up.
Mm-hmm.
We also had something very important that my sister just came in. Okay, I'm here. Everybody, my sister, Mary Eileen Palumbo, is on the chat boards. That's a big news. That ESPN is just reporting that.
It's actually on the scroll. It's on the scroll right now.
She's on the scroll. That's it. Hi, Mary. How you doing? So we had something major happen to both of us this weekend. Not talked about enough in the press. If you go to podcast.com for reviews of our weekend, me and Dave. Now, for Dave, it was a little bit different. He hasn't been in the league as long as I have. Dave went to his first daughter's recital. Now, I saw the pictures. Your little daughter just was the cutest thing ever. And I know exactly what was going on there. You were Big Daddy Don Garland's with your daughter. Fill me in. I mean, first of all, were all the grandparents there? Was there cousins?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you get the flowers?
Yes.
Okay, Dad, did you get them at the event where they sell for $25? Or did you stop by the store before?
Absolutely got them at the event. But they were pre-ordered though. So
pre-ordered. Okay. Now, did your wife have to do it? Because that's the one you catch shit for that.
I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything.
All right. Next time, word of advice.
Do it.
Get the flowers before. Keep in the car. And then your wife's going to be like, whoa, Daddy got them on his own. They'll be the wrong flowers. Everything will be wrong about them. Your daughter. And by the way, your daughter will care about that for about 7 seconds. And then they end up on the floor. They're
already, listen, the amount of flowers that she did get from my entire family, we got massive. Now we combined them into 2 vases at the house, and they're huge bouquets of flowers. I'm like, bro, what are we gonna do with all these fucking flowers?
You don't know whether you went to a recital or you're at Gosling for a funeral.
Yeah. So it was listen, man, one of the most proud moments of my life watching that girl do her thing, bro. Because I was more nervous than she was.
Of course.
I was like, listen, I'm not totally egotistical, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, if she's the one that freezes up and everybody looks at her, I'm gonna feel not bad, but almost just come on, baby, you can do this, bro. When I tell you, there was first of all, there was 8 classes before her, and there was plenty of people freezing up. So I was just all right, cool, we're good. Even if she does, we're good. But the stage curtain open, the bright lights are on her, the music hits, and she just goes to town. I was like, oh my gosh, she's me. She's me. She could do anything in front of any crowd ever. And listen, I was so super proud of her. I hugged her for 24 hours after.
Listen, I was there once. I was nervous. And to this day, by the way, here's what never goes away. As she gets older and she continues to do it, number one, you'll have to get a second mortgage on your house to pay for it. But number two, when she's on stage, I'll be honest with you, I actually, it sounds shitty, I just don't want her to fall. I've seen, and you say that, right? Jokingly, but you're like, she knows the dance. She rehearsed. Just do a nice, solid job. Bat 285, 27 home runs and 91 RBIs, and we're good to go. I don't need to be MVP, no Jokic, no Judge. Just come in, and because you see kids wipe out doing a tough dance, and it's but no one seems to care about that either as you get older. The funny thing is, at the 9:30, I had 4 shows in one day. My daughter had 9:30, a noon, a 4, and a 7. My daughter had to be there at 6:30 a.m. I got there at 9. And there's always stuff you got to move in the back. The dads are involved because my daughter's part of the competition thing. And the 9:30 show was the little kid show, really, mostly. Mm-hmm. And the little tutus, a lot of the parents are jaded now. I hate watching these little kids dance. I'm like, what do you mean you hate? That's That's way better. I would rather watch little kids like that dance, and they look over to the side, and the girls coaching them on the side, and they're doing little tap dance, and they do a little thing like this, and it's adorable. It's the best.
Bro, my daughter got on her stomach and did one of these and kicked
it's the best.
And I'm like, get at. They're like, and of course my father-in-law is like, you're crying, you bitch, you're crying. And I was like, I'm not crying. I'm not even. There's something in both of my eyes.
No, you will. There's certain dances, even as she gets older, that will catch you. You've seen it a bunch of times, and all of a sudden a dance will hit you, and you get proud, and you get a little teary-eyed. There's no doubt about it.
Guilty.
But of course, you were able to quietly enjoy your daughter's dance and then get in the car, and the whole experience lasted about an hour and 45 minutes.
No, we had an after party, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. You know what I mean? A couple of beers. You were half in the bag within 2 hours.
No.
Okay?
I haven't. No.
Okay. Now,
couldn't do it.
Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, I know you had at least one beer.
In the morning, man. I was no way.
When you got home afterwards, at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, sunny day.
Another story for another day, but I got back from Nashville the weekend before.
Oh, that's right, because you're all banged up.
I'm not recovered. And
you're on the disabled.
Yeah.
But no, I had to do the load in Friday night. And always 20 dads say they'll go, and there's 3 of us doing it. One was a cop, Todd from North Haledon was there. And then at the end of the show, all the crap on the stage, the little lights they put on, all have to be loaded in and taken to 2 dance places where they have storage. I didn't get home till midnight, and my daughter didn't get home till about 11:30. She was there at 6:30 to 11:30 at night. It's insanity. But she did 7 different dances and, blah, blah, blah. So it's very involved. But it's great. It's not sports, but it's a cool thing. And
I treated it like it was a sporting event.
No doubt about it. You were ready to tailgate. You were ready to go.
When she came out, it took everything not for me to say, let's fucking go. Really loud.
I know.
But I did say, let's go. It's on video. People are just like, you're an animal. Calm down. I'm like, let's go. I was in it.
I'm going to give you advice. Your daughter will know where you guys are. Don't ask me how. They just do. What I do is I stick my hand up just like this. I stick my hand way up. I kind of get up on my seat, and she looks for that hand afterwards, and she smiles, and I put it down. Or you yell out your girl's name. I do it. Who cares who you annoy? But it was getting the old grandparents down the aisle, sitting them. There was so many people. The place was mobbed. Flowers were flying out the door all over the place. It was candy. It was mayhem.
Just chaos.
But the recitals are, what it's right now. It's okay for your son because he's only a year and a half, whatever the hell he is.
No, he's not 2. He's 19 months, I think.
Okay, 19 months. Right now, he doesn't know. He doesn't know whether he's at a Nick game or a recital.
No,
what becomes brutal?
He was a champion too, though.
Right. Where it becomes brutal is when your son is 5, and Dad, where are we going? And he doesn't really know. Next thing you know, he's like, it's a nightmare. You'll be running in the lobby as soon as your daughter's done dancing. You'll be running in the lobby. He'll be wearing a shitty jet hat. It'll be the greatest thing ever. I will go to those recitals and see you chasing. And Sturchio's chasing his son down with the jet outfit on. Aaron Rodgers, MVP, World Super Bowl champs. 8 years from now,
Rodgers jersey on.
You just see the face, especially when a kid's 10. He looks like these kids look like the boys. They look like death. Like, mommy, why did you do this to me? Why am I here? And it's just a fun thing. But the best part was we were loading out. We had this young guy. Some of the seniors are dating these guys, like D1 football players and lacrosse players. We were like, there should be a rule at dance. When you're a senior in a dance group, you have to date a D1 football player, lacrosse player for the loadout at the end. I was like an 8. I looked like Ezard Charles in the ring there trying to lug this stuff around. But these young bucks were jumping all over the place. But no, it's a special thing. There's nothing better than it. I know, it's just a great thing. Your daughter did a recital, so did mine. And now she's dancing competitively, and your daughter may do it if she chooses to. Also, my daughter ended up at the Ed Sheeran concert at Giant Stadium on Sunday. I did not go. I don't know. You know what? I don't know his songs. I don't know Taylor Swift. I've officially become Grandpa Joe in the corner of the room. I don't know.
Those Taylor Swift people are creeping me out at this point. And I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. I do like her music. I think she's beautiful. I think she's a workaholic.
That means you have a little sensitive side to you. That's all I'm saying.
But the worst part, I'm reading articles about people in adult diapers because they don't want to leave and miss any of the shows. You are crazy.
Crazy. But my daughter had a blast with her dance friends. They got home late again. She was shark shit on Monday at school.
Raging over the weekend.
Oh, and of course, I've been playing pickleball. And I make it. Listen, I had a little injury. I know you weren't around for the 5K moments.
Oh, I listen. I tuned in.
I tried to do a 5K under 31 minutes. I was ready to go. No one thinks this is a Rocky moment. Nobody thinks I can do it. And I injured my heel the day before. Could not go. Took some time off. But in September, I'm running the Ramsey 5K. And hopefully I can run it. And I just got to go under 31 minutes to prove everybody wrong.
I mean,
down goes Frazier.
Now you got 3 months to prep. So like that's the only reason why I was very against it happening originally was because I felt like the prep time wasn't enough.
Yeah, but Dave, what kind of prep time? What kind of prep do you think I'm going to be doing?
I don't know.
That's just another 3 dozen Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches.
Go post it again on social media so I can hit the who gives a fuck button. Because like, today, I will be down the block, and it's like holy shit.
About a month before, I will be posting my regimen of training. Which includes Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches.
To the Rocky IV theme song and Rocky IV soundtrack. Yeah.
I'll be performing in Creed 8. Anyway, I'm playing pickleball again. I'm feeling it. I realized that there's some people that think they're better than me. And I realized, they have no idea. I'm going to be like Miami Heat, the 8th seed. You want no part of me.
Before I even mess this up, pickleball is tennis, but with a smaller racket and a smaller ball, and you're closer to each other, right?
Yeah, it's a half a tennis court.
Okay.
It's with a paddle and a wiffle ball with the holes in it, not like the holes on one side. Oh, shit.
Okay.
All holes.
So you really can't put too much velocity behind these things, can you?
Dave, you'll be good in pickleball in 12 minutes. It's the easiest. You know what? Your daughter, after the recital, would be ranked 12th in the country. And it's the easiest. I tell you how easy now. To be very, very good at anything, whatever. This game, though, the reason why these people are like, oh, pickleball, I'm like, yes, it's easy. You can't. Lawn darts is harder. Cornhole is harder than pickleball. All the shit. You don't have a leveler. You know what I mean? There's no pickleball leveler. Maybe we should come up with that. Level your paddle out. But I decided I gotta get in a little better shape, and I'm gonna start to dominate. I played really well the other day. Some people are like, and Palumbo is making a statement here with an 11-2 blowout of a very good. The only guy I can't beat is Oxy Magic USA. And speaking of that, I got to go right into my next sponsor. There's a guy named Tom DeMeo and his wife Natalie. They play pickleball. They're in shape. They're like good looking. His wife's good looking, and they never lose. Ever. I've gotten the ring. I beat him once. You know how I beat him? His female partner was so bad. And I realized when someone's really bad, I don't hit it to them because they're trying to learn. But I realized, you know what?
Fuck this.
I'm playing the Cowboys here. I gotta get a win here. I don't care how we doing. I don't care if there's an explosion in the clubhouse.
The ball right in between her eyes.
And he didn't get mad. He was kind. That's the only time I beat him. We won 11-9, by the way.
Wow. All right.
No, with his wife, it's like you play. I played him like 2 times ago. I was LeBron James on the court, and he beat us 11-3. And my partner was good. I was like, I got to beat this guy. But he also owns OxyMagicUSA.com. They are carpet cleaners, Dave.
Oh, okay.
OXY MagicUSA.com. Now, he was kind enough. He's to sponsor my show. So he sent a guy over to clean my carpets. And plus I'm moving out of here. So I got nice, clean, fresh carpets. Now, the unique thing about Oxy Magic USA is that it's not the hoses. It's a whole different thing. They have 80 locations nationwide. They come in, they do, there's no hoses. It dries in an hour. It's all EPA clean. You don't get that removal stench. You clean carpet cleaners. They clean. There's some stains. Listen, you all know that. Some of the stains are tough to get out, but this guy came in. I had one little stain. He jerked around it, and boom, stain was gone. Like I said, they got the green seal, EPA stuff. They also do wall-to-wall area rugs. They do upholstery. They do tile and grout. They just completely get involved. The guy who came to the house was a nice guy. He didn't look like a jerk. He was clean and neat. He got the job done. And they're also, if you want to open up your own location, you can. They offer
opportunities.
They offer 0% financing here to be a new location owner. So go to OxyMagic.com, OxyMagicUSA.com, and get in touch with Tom and tell him that the Jimmy Palumbo Show sent you. And also tell him that I think Jimmy Palumbo in the big tournament, in the big dance with the 11th seed, taking on the 5 seed, we get involved. My goal is to someday whip his ass in pickleball. It's just some fans, it's up there with the 5K. Some fans when I get on the court, they boo. They don't care. I'm not dressed appropriately. I don't have the right costumes. So again, OxyMagicUSA.com, OXY here at Shea. Great carpet cleaners. They will clean your carpets, everything, tile, grout. God bless America. And they're good people. Have some fun with them. Now, we're getting running late here, so I'll be quick on a couple of quick things. This whole wildfire thing last week. Now, I don't know about you. I watched the news, okay? And all the crap they talk about all day long. Now, not saying I watched every hour. I didn't hear about, hey, guys, come next Wednesday and Thursday, you can't go outside. Sporting events are going to be canceled. This is how the dinosaurs died. I heard nothing. Next thing you know, I wake up in the morning and I'm in like a bad Netflix show with how people die, Last Men on Earth kind of shit. No one's told me it was going to be like this. Like, no, the Yankee game got canceled. It was brutal. Yeah. And someone said, oh, the Canadian Fires. I'm like, Canadian Fire? I'm thinking like a guy had a little barbecue. Hey, honey, I don't know about this smoked bacon here. What do you think? And next thing you know, it's unbelievable.
I walked out of the studio. I think it was Wednesday. We didn't get the tint in the air yet. It was more like the smell. And I was like, oh, damn, it smells like somebody's having a nice barbecue around here somewhere. Got my car, drove home, got out of the car, and I was like, wait. I was like, it still smells like smoke.
That's a big barbecue.
What the fuck is happening? So yeah, then I realized what was going on, and then the whole world turned orange for a minute, and I was like, or at least the Northeast, and I was like, dude, this is some serious shit. There's some conspiracy theories out there, but it's just a crazy situation. The whole thing was.
There's always, no matter what happens now, it's like, like for instance, if Jimmy Palumbo gets to 40 Patreon, there'll be a conspiracy theory why that. Or if Beerleague the Series is successful, Dave Sturchio will have a field day with social media analysis and the game-changing moment when he got involved. Anyway, a couple of quick things. I know you got to go. I had trouble. Now listen, if anybody, again, I feel like my father now. I couldn't sign in to Disney Plus. Okay. I pay for it because it's now Hulu and ESPN Plus. And somehow,
have you not always had the thing?
Okay. All of a sudden it wouldn't let me sign in because there's something now they've merged because I get Hulu from my Sprint phone for free and ESPN Plus I pay for it. And somehow they must have reset everything. And I was like, I can't log into anything. I pay for it. I only have one email address that I use. I was losing my mind. I'm paying now $75 an hour to have Disney Plus because I wanted to watch a certain show that I can't mention the show's name because it'll have something to do with the show I just booked. I wanted to watch something and I'm like, I wanted to have like a verbal. I want to get a guy on the phone and said, right now, make the TV. I wanted the old days. I wanted a black and white channel 247 911. I want to watch my program. I was losing my mind. And then I went on to Hulu. And because I changed the Disney Plus when my Hulu doesn't work, I'm like, I can't watch Handmaid's Tale. I lost my mind. Anyway, get off my lawn moment. I know they got to have a better system. It's called like, I want to call it like the jerk off screaming app. And all it is that you go on. It says that Jimmy Palumbo's "You're a Jerk Off" app, and you go on. You hit 6 things, and you log into everything: your IRA account, your Disney Plus account, ESPN Plus. You get to see your finances, every login, your kid's school login, everything. It logs into everything. Chop Sports Media. You get live coverage, everything. I would pay $7,000 a month for that. I could just log into one app. People, we need one app that says you're logged in to the world. I want to see like CIA files, everything with one login.
There's probably Jimmy. There's probably an app that does that.
You know what? You know what'll happen though? It probably is an app, but then when you sign in, that's another $45 a month, and you got to update. There's no way I'll do it.
Would you like to be a premium member? Of
oh my god!
Like, oh my god!
I just want to watch my program. It's unbelievable to me. Anyway, so that annoyed my soul. Quickly on the WGA strike, the Writers Guild, it sucks. They're not shooting any television in LA. They're not shooting much here in New York. And as an actor, if nothing's written, you can't audition for anything.
Have you seen some of these new studios in New Jersey yet? Because I mean, they're freaking nuts. The way they look are incredible.
The one down in the one that's going to open down
Monmouth,
way down,
right down here.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to go down.
There's one in Kearney now too, up near you.
Yeah, but I don't care what they're doing there. If there's no writers,
yeah, that's true.
Looks great. And then you want to talk about getting involved, and the Screen Actors Guild getting involved. They're like, oh, we're going to do our contract. So like the writers will settle, and then the actors will go on strike. And then if you write something and you have no actors to perform it, you're screwed anyway. So I voted to, I agreed to strike because it's like, I always feel like it's a mob union thing. Like you're in the union hall, like, hey, everybody, we're going to vote right now. Make sure you put the yes to vote. I feel like Vinny Boombot's going to come and give me the beating. So that annoys my soul, which brings me to chasingmiracles.com, Dave. Now, this is unbelievable. These are phototherapy patches. These will be the difference in me running my 5K under 31 minutes. These are patches. They stimulate the body's natural healing systems. They're an effective and inexpensive way to reactivate your own stem cells. You got to check these things out. You put patches on you. It gets involved with your body, a self-repair system. Go to chasingmiracles.com. Talk to Tommy and Donna. Tell them I sent you. Any of you health nuts, they also do the calcium, coral calcium in the bag, in the water. All good, healthy stuff. Rehydrates yourself, alkaline, all that crazy good stuff. Healthy. Probably the healthiest thing I do. I'm involved with this. As I eat my Taylor ham, egg, and cheese, I suck one of these down, getting involved. So go to chasingmiracles.com. They're really cool stuff. These patches, you see them on the athletes all the time. I got a bunch. I've been wearing them when I play pickleball, and I'm moving up the rankings as we speak. The last thing, and I'll let you go. The last thing, I promise. I finally watched the end. You're not a fan of Miss Maisel, are you, on Amazon?
No.
Okay, you don't watch television. I have to. Miss Maisel, it ended, and for the fans of the show, I'm not giving away anything really, but it ended where, she's very successful. She becomes huge. And I was disappointed. I wanted it to end like how it ends for everybody else. Like she wasn't huge, but she wasn't big. Like maybe kind of like me, where it's like, she's still out there giving it a go. You know what I mean? Instead, she became like, a bigger than life. I think it would have been funnier if she just did okay instead. But and then where you end up with your family and stuff. But it's still a great show. She's adorable. The lead in that show, very sweet. And the other kid that plays her husband is from Ridgewood up here. So God bless the show. It's gone forever. And I think she'll become even a bigger star than she is now with other projects. And that's it. And the last ad is for Pine Tar Bar and Grill. PineTarBarGrill.com. You have to go, Dave, you have to go to this place. If you're ever going down to LBI, duck in. You'll get a kick out of it. You'll love it. And also, if you're not feeling so good, little mental issues there, you're worried about, I don't know, you just down and out, you got to call Lisa Ruane. 201-725-1251. She's a clinical therapist, certified therapist, excuse me. She does hypnotherapy and also regular counseling. Zoom, you come to her office, whatever you got to do. 201-725-1251. Please, if you're in a jam with mental health, something close to my heart, you got to go talk to somebody. You talk to Lisa Ruane, and she'll take care of you. Now, that's it. So final note is Beerleague, the series launches. I can't believe it's going to be June 19th. Beerleague launching on Juneteenth is funny to the world. I'll leave it at that. June 19th, Beerleague the Series. Go to YouTube. I don't know enough about all that stuff. So
Tim's in it. So, we're good.
Yeah, it's so go check it out, Beerleague. And now the biggest thing is you got to sign up. You got to hit subscribe because I need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewing.
Let's get it. Let's jump on a call later, Jimmy. Let's discuss a couple options because it's just, I don't foresee that happening in 6 days. So
we still got to get there somehow. Maybe we'll get there on Monday. Who knows? I know it. Well, it's a hard thing to do. There's no question. But I do go on YouTube. Oh, forgot to everybody. And thanks to Frank the Tank, his show I did. I had a great time on there. It's part of Barstool. I know me and Dave look up to Barstool Sports. We strive to be, we want to be in that arena, as they say.
Sure.
And they're a great company. And his show, his podcast is very popular. He's kind enough to put me on. My nephew got me the gig. I went on. I thought I held my own there pretty well. Talked about a lot of stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So big shout out to Frank the Tank and the other boys that were on there, Janks and all that. And the producers were great to me. And maybe I'll have Frank the Tank on next week. And if I do, Dave will be back on for that one. So anyway, I know Dave's such a huge fan of Frank the Tank, big Met fan.
For sure.
Anyway, that's my show, Dave. Thanks a lot for hopping in.
Absolutely.
Sorry I went long. And I'll talk to you next Tuesday, the day after the Beer League launch.
Let's launch it.
All right, we'll see you. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.